Um, we're going to go over the Miami-Milwaukee series, recapping the last couple of days, last couple of games. So game one, Miami had a strong finish and ended up beating them 115 to 104. And I'm looking at the stat line here. Bam had 12. Jimmy and Goran were really the show. Jimmy was the show because he was putting up points, but he went off in the fourth quarter. That's where he really went off. And then Dragic had 27, and he was 9 for 15. And he had 7 free throws. He was 7 for 7 in the free throw line too. So he had a really good game, and he was like, I don't know. I think he was, to me, he's like Jimmy's second in command when it comes to guards. Like, without Goran, I think this team would be, I don't think we'd be up 2-0. I think it'd be either 1-1 or Milwaukee would be up 2-0. Because I will say this, Chris Middleton, that first game, went off. Let's see, where's his stat line? And he had 28 points. Giannis only had 18 in game one. I don't know. I saw a different kind of Giannis in game one versus game two. Game two, I felt like he tried making it all him. Where first game, he tried to pass around. As he had 3 at the beginning of game one in the first quarter. They were rolling on Miami in the first quarter. It was kind of back and forth. Milwaukee had the lead. And after that first half, Miami kind of just shifted into playoff mode. And let me put up this: we're 6-0 right now in the playoffs. I think the only other team that was undefeated before last night was Boston. Boston had lost the game until last night to Toronto, so they were on a roll as well. But now they got both these series were, I was imagining, was going to be really good. Anyways, we're going to get off game one because we already know what happened in game one. Let's get over to the controversy in game two. So before I even look at the stat line or anything, this is how I put my input on it. Dragic's foul wasn't a foul. Jimmy Butler's foul wasn't a foul. Neither one of them should have happened. If Chris Middleton doesn't get his 3 free throws, Miami's still in the lead. He misses it. Miami gets the board. Boom, they're shooting 3 throws anyways. So everybody that's crying over it, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, even if I was a Milwaukee fan, I see it from both standpoints. And I've seen it from both sides where people saying, oh, let's let them finish it out in overtime. Well, from my standpoint on that, Milwaukee doesn't have a chance if he doesn't get those 3 throws. Let's put it simple as that. That's the best way I can put it. But I do see the standpoint. You don't want to see overtime. You don't want to see it finish like that. But those were just, refereeing was just awful game two. Because I was going back and forth watching it on my phone and watching TV. Because I had spent a little bit of time with my girlfriend because I had to work next day. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just watch it on my phone and go back and forth. Even had like one earbud in and everything. Man, I will say it was one of my favorite games I've watched this season finish out because it was a hell of a game to see end. So now we're gonna go over the stat line because I kind of gave y'all my standpoint. I mean, I know how Milwaukee fans are gonna feel about this because they feel like it shouldn't have ended like that. But with how bad the foul calls were, at least they were consistent, I guess. I mean, NBA players want consistency. That's why I'm always hearing about officiating. They want officiating consistency. So I guess at least they're consistent. That's the biggest thing I get from it. And I even read where they said, so basically what it came to down why they got fouled, it faulted their landing. Basically, they have to have that landing. If they don't have the landing and you're touching them, basically, they're going to call the foul. That's what I'm getting from it when I read the article about it. But in this game, Jimmy only had 13. Dragic had 23. Dragic's been putting up major points in this playoffs. So I think he's been pretty. I think he's had 20 plus points every game. I think I'm not 100% sure on that, but he's been killing it. Bam had 15, Crowder 16, Robinson had 13, Hero 17, and Kelly had 11. And on the other side of the ball, we had Giannis was a little bit stronger in this game with 29 points, and Chris Middleton still had a strong 23 points. And then Brooke and Bledsoe, because they didn't have Bledsoe game one. I think he kind of might have helped them out a little bit in game one, but I still think Miami would overcame it because just how hot they've been. So, and then they had also George Hill get 14 because he started off kind of nice at the beginning of that game when I was watching it. Honestly, the biggest take that anybody can get from that game is the controversy at the end. There's not really much to talk about the game because the game was a really good game all around. Miami had a commanding lead between like 6-8 points most of the game, I believe, or like 4 or 5 points. They were in the lead most of the game. And a key factor to think about as these next 2-3 games go on, if we get to game 5, who knows? It's the NBA. We may go 7 games. We'll see what happens. Milwaukee is 0-14 when down 2-0 in the series all time. So that's the thing to keep in mind there because I'm sorry, when it comes to playoffs and stuff like that, as a fellow Cowboys fan, it's not easy to beat those kind of things. So that's why I'm thinking logically, I just don't see it happening. I think it'll go 5 games. I don't think Milwaukee's going to get swept. I think they'll take 1 game, and it might be today, and then Miami needs to go out and win these next 2 games. But we shall see what happens. I'm going to do a little bit of a NFL video here shortly, figure out what I'm going to do exactly. But y'all have a nice day. We'll see what this next video is about.